Alright, so you guys know us for all the huge big tanks and awesome fish. Well, I get asked this question quite a bit, and that's what is your most expensive fish that you have in all of these gallons of water? Alright, so answering these questions, it's never hard to just pick one fish because it's kind of a subjective answer. You know, someone might pay more for a certain fish than someone else, but you know what? I might be able to get that fish that he paid high dollar for, you know, probably a couple $100 cheaper. So I'm just going to go around and point out probably my top fish that are on the list. And we're going to start with one of the most majestic and beautiful of them all, and that is this Tigrinus catfish. So this is an expert level catfish. They are considered to be the holy grail for catfish enthusiasts. They've got these beautiful streamers off the back of their tail, beautiful, lovely zebra stripe pattern, and as you can see, they've got this bluish sheen on their head. These guys come from South America. They can get over 3 foot long, so these guys take forever to grow out, and they need only the best of water parameters. So these guys are really hard to get to this size. He's closing in on 22 inches right now, and something like this at this size would probably sell for about $1,000 to $1,500. You usually see these things at 2 inches long selling for $200-300. So you take that and you have a fish grow out for 6 years to get to this size. That's already hard to keep alive. Well, you know, that stuff adds up. Alright, the next most expensive fish I'm going to have to say is the pacu. No, I'm just joking. We're actually coming over here to come to the stingray tank because there are crazy stingray enthusiasts out there that pay high dollar for a lot of stingrays. The pups that I picked out, you know, exclusively, and some of the white diamonds we have back there in the stingray pond behind that tank, you know, they were paid good money for. Like something like this, probably about $1,500 as a pup, and you know, the dollars only go up from there. I know people who have spent, you know, $10,000-$20,000 on a stingray, and that's, you know, kind of the issue with breeding stuff. You're the first to have it, so you pay high dollar for it, and once you start getting them breeding, you have a monopoly on them. Like some of these stingrays back here, I'm waiting for that white diamond to come out from under there. I just seen them go under there as I came up. But alright, we got to keep on rocking and rolling. But like the albino stingrays, for instance, you know, a couple of years back, they were $4,000 or $5,000. Albino, you know, black diamond was unheard of, so they were selling for even more. Now we have a few of them here, and they are getting a lot cheaper as the days go on and more people are breeding them. But while we're on the topic of albino fish, let's take you over here in the 2200. You can see a lot of albino fish. This fish at one point was my most expensive fish. Now this was donated to me by a good friend of ours, but he had paid something like 10 grand a piece for these things when they first came out. This is a short body xanthic alligator gar. I have a larger albino one out in the monster pond, which I actually take you out there and show you in just a bit. But these guys, you know, they were hard to find, so they were worth a lot more money. Now they're coming in a little bit more readily available, and they've got lower grade ones that are selling for around $1,500. Super high grade ones are still around $3-4 grand. Then you get stuff like this, the platinum redtails. There's actually a phantom right there, which we actually grew them out, and it's kind of just turning into a platinum. So you really can't tell the difference between the phantoms and the platinums. If I keep going back and forth to all three of them, can you really tell a difference? I can, because I know which one's which, but I will point it out for you guys. So if you look at this side, you see that black dot there, you see a little black speckles in his fins, you see his top bone. He's got a little bit of dark coloring there. Same thing with this guy. He's got a little bit on his plate up top and one spot on his side. The rest of them is pretty well white. These are the platinums. This guy right here, his bone on top is solid white. That is one of the phantoms. But as you can see, he still has a dark patch on the side. So I'm not sure if he's going to develop into that as he grows or whatnot. But it is really hard to tell the difference between the phantoms and the platinums. All right, while we're in this tank, we'll go ahead and talk about this guy right here. This is a platinum arowana. The only reason he is on this list is because of his availability again. Because they're a little bit harder to find, of course, with any sort of animal, fish, dogs, you know, whatever you name it. It always comes down to grade. The higher the grade, the more money he is worth. This one is considered a good to great quality. He is not a, you know, a super like a class S or, you know, like the top shelf. I mean, he's a really nice looking platinum arrow, but I have seen better out there. But that does not take away from his price tag. For this guy right here, if I were to see him for sale online, someone would probably ask upwards of $3,000 for him, and that's just because he is all white as scales. When he swims under the light, he is just blinding. So he is a beautiful fish. He is coming up on probably 30 inches long. Here we go, we're going to get it. You see just how blinding it gets underneath the light? And he actually swam on this side of it, so he didn't get the full effect. But once that light shines off of him, he is super bright and vibrant. All right, while I'm out here, my pond got a little full, so my skimmer wasn't working. That's why you see a little bit of the bubbles at the top of the water. But there goes the albino alligator gar. That's a true red eye. He's about 3 foot long. And that's another one of those ones I was talking about earlier in the videos. And then a close second, over there, the pure white, we've got the platinum alligator gars. These guys were actually bought for $3 grand and $5 grand way back in the day, and they are super high quality platinum alligator gars. No black spots on them whatsoever at all, and they are really sought after. I've had many people approach me and try to buy them, when in reality you can actually get platinum alligator gars now. Of course, they're lower quality for about $1,000 to $1,500, depending on who you get them from and what kind of quality. But I told their previous owner that they would stay with me until they, you know, met the Rainbow Bridge. So they go ahead and stay with us. So those are some really great quality fish. And of course, we've got to talk about some fish in this tank right here. Where is he? I'm looking for him. Of course, we've got things like albino arowana is here, and Alora to love the fish. You are loving this, aren't you? So she is my little video helper girl. She is coming and filming with Dad. She is absolutely adorable, but she is just loving the fish. All right, back to it. So over here we have the Australian lungfish. This is a CITES species, so you're only supposed to have them with the correct permits, which we do have. Our fish is microchipped, and he is one of my favorites. And this guy comes at about a price tag of like $1,500 or so. Them albino, bless you, them albino Chinese whales right there, we have two of them. They're like $600 a piece. So everywhere you look out here in, you know, these tanks, we have fish that cost a lot of money. So when someone asks, like, what's your most expensive? I'm like, I don't know. You have to tell me. Like, what do you mean by most expensive? Are you talking like rare and hard to get? Someone's willing to pay for it? Are you just talking, you know, average price on the fish? Because I see fish sell for astronomical numbers, and I see them same fish selling for a lot cheaper. So a lot goes into that answer. All right, and if we're talking about expensive fish, you know, I got to talk about my sturgeon. This is a super white diamondback sturgeon. Now, she is not, you know, something that is uber expensive. She was $800, which to most that's, you know, outrageous for a fish. But compared to some of my other ones, she's not at the top of the list, but she is definitely a gorgeous one. And the thing with these is they're just a lot harder to keep, so you need that, you know, expertise and the knowledge to keep these things alive. There's so many people that buy a regular white diamondback sturgeon from the pet stores, and they're like, well, I took it home 2 weeks later, it died. Well, you know, with sturgeons, you have to have the water super oxygenated. They like it super clean, and sturgeons love a higher protein diet. So they will scrounge around. They'll pretty much eat what they can if they can catch it. They will eat smaller fish. They love high protein pellets. They will eat some plants. They will absolutely destroy them. So they are pretty much omnivorous, but you have to remember, you have to keep them on a high protein diet to keep them happy and making them grow, you know, proportionate and having the sturgeon just look amazing. Like, I've had her now for, I think, 6 months, maybe a little longer than that. It's really hard to judge. I'd have to go back and look, but she is doing phenomenal. I was going to throw her out in the pond, but she's doing so well in this tank. I'm gonna keep her in here until she probably gets a little bit bigger. This is a cooler water tank. It is fed from the monster pond, and then it cools off at a much slower rate going into this tank, and then it overflows back to the monster pond. So this tank probably stays at around, you know, 70 degrees, which the sturgeon and koi love, and I'm able to have it on my system as well. There is just a lot more maintenance that goes into maintaining a sturgeon tank with all of these koi as well. And something that is coming up, we are finally ready. These are all the shack baby koi. We are going to get rid of a bunch of them. So we're only keeping select ones. Like, my dad wants the butterfly, so of course he's going to keep that one. He's going to keep that one. He's going to keep that one. So basically all the butterflies in here he's going to keep. And then there's one in there that caught my eye, and he is super neat. I'm going to keep him. This guy right there. Look how cool he is. His whole front of his body's white. His back half is orange and a black mohawk up top. How cool is that? So that's something that I want. We'll go ahead and pull them out. Of course, that koi my dad wants to keep. And then there might be one or two more, and then the rest we're going to put up and try and fundraise some money for Ohio Fish Rescue, and you guys can come and pick off the shack koi. I will let you guys know details on it. I will be posting it to Facebook. It'll probably be a one-day thing, but I will give ample, you know, notifications so you guys can come and be ready. I won't just say, hey, it's coming tomorrow, come pick these fish up, here's the details. I'll be like, no, you know, in 2 weeks we're gonna have this, so here's what you need to know, and be here and be ready. First come, first serve. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. It was one that you guys have been asking for quite some time. I've answered it in the past. I just thought I would hit on it once again. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll catch you in the next one. Stay fishy, my friends.